Welcome once again to the Zach Carpenter Show here on BCHS.TV. I'm your host, Gary Ownbey, where all of our programs are brought to you, produced here in Cedar Lakes, and brought to you on YouTube. Just look for BCHS.TV. Subscribe when you get there, and anytime we have a program for your viewing pleasure, it will notify you so you can watch these. We appreciate the students here at Studio H12 making all of our production possible for all of our coaches' shows and our player shows. Being joined now by our good friend, head coach Zach Carpenter. Zach, we'll start out by letting you introduce these young men you brought today.
So I got Jackson Airy, junior with us, and Romarion Taylor. He's a sophomore with us.
A couple of young guys there. Let's start with you, Romarion. How long have you been playing basketball? Where did you first start that you can remember playing basketball, organized basketball?
Well, I was about 3 or 4. I started playing at the YMCA.
At the YMCA. Where'd you go to middle school at?
I went to middle school, Cleveland Middle School.
Cleveland Middle School there. You're a sophomore this year.
Yes, sir.
You've been a main cog in the team, obviously, that even as a freshman last year. I think he started.
He did. He started
pretty much
towards the end of the season. You were in the starting rotation, weren't you?
Yeah.
Or about halfway through it, he broke into the starting lineup.
And how tall are you right now?
I'm about 6'1".
6'1". Well, Jackson, you're the tallest guy on the team, I guess. 6'7", 6'8". What's your height?
I don't know. I haven't really got an official height, but I mean, I guess we could just stick to 6'7" for now.
Okay, you're taller than coaching.
Yeah.
How tall are you? 6'6", 6'5"?
6'5", 6'6".
6'5", 6'6". Well, you have to look up a little bit to him then. Now, where'd you play middle school ball at?
I played at Lake Forest for 6th and 7th grade, and then I transferred to Boyd Buchanan for 8th grade.
All right, so you've been playing a long time
Yes,
as
sir.
well then. And I always like this with the coach here too. What would you like to be better at as a Bear, Marion?
Well, a better teammate. I want to be a way better teammate. I don't know.
You'd like to improve your shooting. Is your shooting, I don't know what your shooting percentages are for either one of you guys. Jackson? Now, Jackson, we saw you Friday night, I think 17 points against Walker Valley. Big road win, big district win on the road that you come through there. And I was telling the coach here, that's what we need to see out, and I'm sure he's telling you the same thing. He says he's hard on you in practice. Of course, he's probably hard on everybody in practice too. But I told one of the guys on the radio, I said, man, this is the Jackson area we need to see every game, you know, the rebounding and the aggressiveness and all that, and the points as well. Because it's like the old saying, you know, it doesn't matter how bad you shoot, if you can get the rebound, you're going to get some put-back shots, you know, stuff like that. But what would you like to be better at, improve in your game? Or
I wouldn't say, like, of course there's things I can get better at on the court, but I would say how I, like, respond to adversity. Mm-hmm. Like how I hold myself on the court.
Well, you're pretty stoic out there. I don't see you reacting, you know, on a big high or you know, you don't seem to get upset if things not going our way that we can see now. Maybe in your brain you have there. But Coach, let's go back here. We've not had a show in a while. You've played a lot of games. You went to Alabama, won a couple of games down there. You beat East Ham here. Went to Ray County, won a game. We broadcast, I think it was, and East Ham was our last broadcast. Had a tough game here with McMinn County, but then you had a big win on the road at Walker Valley, huge win, you know, for district seeding purposes for the postseason. I thought that was maybe the most meaningful game we've played this year and one of the most important games.
It was. You know, I told him yesterday at practice, you know, tonight's going to be our most important game of the year because it's our next, and that's how we view it.
Yeah.
So at that time, Walker Valley, that was the most important game of the year for us. And it did, you know, I think going into that game, we were tied with them in the standings with both of us at 2 losses apiece. And it did help us, you know, move up a little bit and get us closer to that, where we want to get to, that #1 spot.
Well, you had, let's see, I'm looking now at the stats for Trevor Carpenter, good game, 23 points. Ram had 12. Jackson Area had 16 there, so you had 3 guys in double figures, 2 of them sitting right here. Also, let's see, Ram had 3 rebounds. Jackson had 7 rebounds to lead the team in rebounding, so a good stat line for both those guys there. And I know you look at these guys here as 2 of the main starters, and you got 5 starters, of course. Trevor Carpenter's our leading scorer right now, but how do you envision a team right now? Are you satisfied with where we're at? I'm probably never satisfied, but
I don't think as a coach you're ever satisfied.
No,
with
I hope
There's
you're not.
always you always find a way. I'm sure they'll tell you I'm
yeah.
nitpick sometimes,
Yeah.
you know, on what we can get better at and trying to find different areas that we can improve on every game. You know, going into that 4th quarter last game against Walker Valley, we had a 13-point lead going into it, and we didn't finish the way that 4th quarter out the way we had played the first 3 quarters, and that was something that we focused on when we got back on the floor of practice.
Yeah. Well, let's flip back to the Stewart's Creek game. We were down by 8 points there in the second half, 38-30, and we come back with a 12-point run. we did take command of that game, you know, and I wrote down here, you quoted, never give up attitude we had, that you was very pleased with that game, that showed that, you know, no matter how bad it looks sometimes, if you hang in there, good things can happen.
It is, and we stayed the course that game, and that's something that I preach at them all the time. You know, after the McMinn game, we came in, we talked as a team. We actually talked more than we did. We're on the floor practicing that day. You know, just different areas, and one of the things was never the fight. Never give up on the fight.
Yeah.
Never give up. Never quit fighting. Mm-hmm. And that was one of the areas that, you know, we've got to get better at. Like Jackson said, when adversity hits, and it's not just him, as a team, when adversity hits, we've got to have better responses, body language. Mm-hmm. You know, how we. I always have a next play mentality. If you screw up, that's fine. Let's move on from it. And that was something I was real proud of him for. You know, I'm hard on him.
Yeah.
And McMinn, I was really hard on him, and he bounced back the next game and had a great game. And
Yeah.
Ram the same way. I'm pretty hard on him too, and about you know, when he said being a better teammate, I think it's something great that he wants to get better at. And that's not to say he's a bad teammate. He's a great teammate. Mm-hmm. But areas that he can improve at, or you know, I'd love to see Romarion be better at running the show at the point spot, being a backup point guard. And that's how he can be a better teammate.
There's a challenge for him.
Sorry.
So you know, I was really proud of these guys, how they bounced back after a big loss, a tough loss against McMinn, and they answered the bell on Friday.
Well, we had McMinn Tuesday, Walker Friday. We got Cleveland tonight on the Tuesday. We're recording this Tuesday morning. Our three biggest rivals and three great crowds. I mean, we're going to have a house full tonight, and it's going to get emotional. It's tense out there. And you guys know them guys on Cleveland. You probably played against them in middle school or other places at the wire, wherever you play pickup ball, stuff like that. So they're not like they're strangers coming in here from out of town that you know nothing about. And they know everything we're going to try. You know everything they're going to try. It's just a matter of execution, I guess, tonight, and who can execute the best.
It will. You know, we'll have a game plan. We can go out and execute it. I really like our chances. And these guys were locked in on Friday. I expect them to have the same mentality coming into tonight and be locked in, ready to go, and execute the game plan.
Well, 19 of 26 free throws we made Friday night. That's pretty dang good, 73%.
Finally.
We've harped on that, and it just makes me cringe when I watch these kids shooting free throws. Now, I couldn't go out there and shoot them myself, but because you can win close games, you know, look at that. You can win a close game with that. They shot 15 out of 20, I believe. So it's 46 free throws, I think, attempted, and 40 fouls called. That was a lot. There was a lot of contact. Probably some that should have been called, but there's a lot I thought that shouldn't have been called. But
The fourth quarter took a little bit to play.
I'm telling you what. But, you know, hey, it's the way it goes. We're halfway through our schedule now. You played everybody at least once. Can't overemphasize the importance of tonight's game. You got 2 losses in district. Cleveland's unbeaten in the district. We've still got to go to McMinn. Walker's got to come to us. So still it is anybody's game at this point in the season, halfway through the district schedule.
We're excited about tonight. I mean, these are the games you live for. You know, the Bradley-Cleveland rivalry is one of the biggest. It dates back to when I played.
Yeah, you've played them.
So I played in these games. I know how big a game it is. I know what the crowd's going to be like. It's going to be a hostile environment. That's what we're looking forward to.
Everybody gets excited about that. If you can't get pumped up for a Bradley-Cleveland game, man, you might as well just turn your uniform and go home.
Yeah.
There's no better atmosphere than those games there. We just seem like it takes us forever to get started, and then once the season starts, it's going into snap. We're going to be in the postseason here in like 3 or 4 weeks, you know.
I know it. It goes by quick.
It sure does. You have 3 seniors, 5 juniors, 5 sophomores, and no freshmen off on the roster. Is that a good mix for you as far as the balance of? Would you rather have more seniors, or do you like it? You're not going to lose a bunch of guys every year, you know. That's why you're going to lose 2 or 3 or 4 at a time. But
we lost a lot last year, but I like our mix we have this year. You know, those guys, they know what the expectation is.
Yeah.
So coming into it, they've been a big help on the guys that are playing varsity for the first time, of showing them, you know, the ropes and letting them know what my expectation is and being good examples for them.
Well, these guys can be 2 good leaders there for you, and they're done. You got 2 more years, and you got 1 more year after this year. So, but we got a lot of basketball to play this year.
Yep.
So let's keep it rolling and get you a win here tonight with Cleveland High School. Howard on the road Friday, Lake Forest, I said Lake Forest, Fort Oglethorpe coming up here Saturday,
Yep.
and then next week we'll hit another couple of district games. But first and foremost, Cleveland High School tonight. I'd like to thank Marion Taylor. We call him Ram. Jackson Airy and Zach, always appreciate you stepping in today and picking back up their shows. We missed some during the Christmas break. We'll be here again each week.
Thanks for having me, Gary.
Glad to do that. Until next time, we'd like to invite you to listen in tonight. See it on BCHS.TV, on Mix TV, or on Mix Radio, whatever your viewing and listening pleasure would be. This is Gary Ownbey saying so long for now. God bless and go Bears.